This is gonna get weird, all right? It's pretty freaky, but it's safe. There's no reason to be scared.
Oh, no, Daddy don't get scared.
Really? Good.
Honda,
Yes, dear.
are you using your powers to turn on the light?
You couldn't have done that earlier.
I hate you.
I like this.
Dormammu, I come to bargain.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk.
I am a god, you dull creature. And I will not be bullied by that.
We know each other. He's a friend from work.
Baskin-Robbins always finds out.
I am Iron Man.
I'm Groot.
I am Steve Rogers.
We're all standing up now. Bunch of jackasses standing in a circle.
Because that's what heroes do.
Hello and welcome to Maximum Marvel Drive. I'm Travis Fishburne.
I'm Alex Brunel.
And I'm Dustin Meadows.
And this week we are going to be covering episode 5 of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Truth.
Yeah.
So, Dustin, could you handle the truth this week?
I was actually surprised that we got to, I'm just going to refer to everything as the truth in this episode. I'm surprised we got to the truth as quickly as we did, frankly. Yeah, it was a good episode. We got a lot of fun, exciting new developments dropped on us. A fun new character that I'm sure we'll see a whole lot more in the following episode. Yeah, I dug this one. A little lighter on the action than the previous ones, but pretty solid fight sequence out of it, so I ain't mad.
Cool, yeah. Yeah, lighter on the action in total, but I think the selection of action that they do have is like probably the best thus far in the entire series. And yeah, Alex, what did you think of the truth?
I was a little perplexed by the quantity of Sebastian Stan's penis that we saw. Oh, wait, no, that is the new film Monday. No, this did not feature the penis. Okay, this episode, yeah, a lot of talking.
Everyone see Monday.
Or maybe just wait for the upcoming Pam and Tommy Lee sex tape biopic TV show that he's playing Tommy Lee in. That's a real thing. Everybody, just so everybody knows, there is going to be a dramatized TV series about the Pamela and Tommy Lee sex tape, starring Sebastian Stan as Tommy Lee. I don't know if there's.
Does Anthony Mackie play Pamela?
Yes.
So Sebastian Stan says no to playing Luke Skywalker, but yes to this.
Anyway, yeah, yes, he did. First and foremost, yes, he did say yes to one and no to the other.
Bonehead move.
But this episode I actually liked a lot. This episode got back to the stuff that I liked about the show in the first place, which was this what I thought was pretty good character work between with Sam and with Bucky, and we get more of Isaiah in this episode and a great scene with Carl Lumbly, the magical Carl Lumbly. We'll get to that. But there's some more of the stuff that I really liked initially about the show in this episode than there has been for a few weeks. So I liked this one a good bit more than the last few weeks worth of shows.
Yeah. No, agreed. It was a good one, and it leads off right with the the aftermath of the previous episode where Wilson and Bucky demand the shield from Walker, or he's hiding out in a warehouse as one does. And,
right. There's always a warehouse to go to.
Empty warehouse
if you
just
need a warehouse.
Duke it out, yeah. Then they start a fight in which Wilson's his wings get destroyed.
Flew too close to the son of Kurt Russell.
It's true. And then they both take the shield and break Walker's arm in the end.
That was so good.
I was really hoping the arm was going to come straight off.
Oh, that'd have been good too.
Because the scene opens with Bucky trying to talk him down, and he says, "I'm not like you." And I thought it'd be great if he ripped his arm off, and he's like, now you're a little more like me than you thought.
I saw someone this past week on a Star Wars subreddit post that Wyatt Russell should play Callus in a live action Rebels thing. I would see him playing Callus. That's a different podcast though. Anyway, this is a great fight scene. Really drives home how much we dislike John Walker as an audience, which is fun. Good actiony beats in here. Was it my imagination, or was some of it, was part of it like a point for point recreation of previous action sequences we've seen the Winter Soldier involved in? It felt very similar to the final battle in Civil War. Right. Mm-hmm. That was another 3-part battle with Cap and Bucky versus Iron Man. That's what it felt like to me. Yeah.
Same.
I dug it.
Yeah, that was the vibe I got.
I was into it, man. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of the shield throwing in this episode. I don't know if the shield has been thrown so many times in such a short period of time as it was in this 60 minutes of television this week.
Yeah, and I
think this is the first time we got a proper shield montage, right?
Yeah, we'll get to that montage.
Oh.
I have thoughts about that montage. But I like this action scene. This action scene was good. There's always a warehouse. I was a little fuzzy on like the cleanup process. It seemed like, did they just like leave Walker with his arm just destroyed, just laying there, and they bail, and then the army comes and picks him up, and just like, what is there's a lot of A to B that we don't see, and it's not necessary. I'm just purely curious. It would have been bad for the show had they shown it. I'm just curious.
Yeah. We do see, I mean, in one of the next scenes, we see a little bit of that where Sam has an interchange with Torres, and you see a little bit of the cleanup there, but...
Oh, right. Yeah, that happens.
Torres is obsessed with the wings and what happened to them. As soon as he started asking about the wings, I'm like, oh, he's going to take those.
He's going to take those.
Yeah.
I'm going to get those wings.
Yeah. Good program.
Yeah. So then Sam goes ahead and he gives him those wings because he's like, you're obviously crazy about him. And
well, I think the thing about that guy is that's how he gets to be a superhero. If I've read correctly, like he becomes the next Falcon after Falcon becomes Captain America. So he's going to take those wings and he's going to use his secret tech powers to fix them.
He's going to take those broken wings and learn to fly.
Yes, that will happen. So there's a lot of...
As a matter of fact...
There's a lot of ground to cover in the next episode.
Torres becomes like an actual bird person?
Oh, like proper, like he regurgitates food into his baby's mouths and
builds a nest in a tree.
Man, I mean,
is he just plucking all the hair off your cats to build the nest and the...
But yeah, he's got like actual like wings that are attached to his body, similar to like angels.
That the MCU is gonna fudge that until it's not weird anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna fudge the heck out of that. Fudge it. Yeah, it took me a minute to remember who this guy was when he showed back up. Because we haven't seen him since the second episode. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think Sam called him in the last episode, but we don't really see him at all, though.
Yeah, so I had forgotten about this guy. Still there though.
Yeah, he's still there. And then so then Bucky goes and he tracks down Zemo. He knew exactly where he was gonna go. He was in Sokovia looking at the monument there, and he tries to kill him. Or
No, he
seems
makes
to.
like he's gonna
Yeah.
kill him. He makes an overture so that Zemo is afraid for like 0.3 seconds. And then
Then he
realizes that
drops bullets on the ground.
Winter Soldier is now no longer the Winter Soldier. He is a man with feelings.
Yeah. And then-
This is a good scene. Or sorry, did you have more in the summary here?
I was to say, then Io and the Dora Milaje come and take him away. They're going to be taking him to the raft, that's the prison in the middle of the ocean that they, put everybody in at the end of Civil War.
Right, so that's interesting by itself. That's a part 2 of the discussion of this scene. Is like,
Okay.
how does the raft incorporate into this? I feel like we're talking about Lost again. How does the raft incorporate? I really like this dialogue scene between Zemo and Bucky. Thought this shows really good growth on both of their parts that is played very well by Sebastian Stan, and help me out on Zemo Man.
BDE.
Yes. The new BDE, that's right.
Rule Common Daniel energy.
Real good scene with them. I liked, and I bought Zemo just going with the Wakandans to the prison in the Bugatti spaceship. Yeah, I dug it. I like this. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Same. It was a solid, and I think this kind of harkens back to more of those character moments that you were talking about at the beginning, that we've kind of grown a little further away from the last few episodes. So it's good to see it, because again, like, these are all super talented actors who do great things when they're given the opportunity to do more than just kick and punch things.
Right.
Yeah, I also think they've been doing this a lot in this show. I think there was another reused camera angle of the reveal of when Zemo is standing there, and then there's kind of a profile on him, and you see Bucky, and I think that is also used in Civil War when he is outside while they're all fighting, and Black Panther's right there.
Yeah.
There's also, this show's actually very good about that kind of thing. It's also, and the music has been doing that a lot too, in referencing past themes from Captain America movies and Avengers movies. Henry Jackman this is not his first Marvel project. He wrote the Winter Soldier theme, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he did.
So that kind of continuity within the series and like visual callbacks, it's nice. It's nice to see. So the raft, that's under William Hurt's control. Last we checked, is that correct?
Yeah.
Thunderbolt.
And we don't like William Hurt.
No,
he bad guy. But we're setting up what, Thunderbolts? Are we setting up Thunderbolts now? Is that happening?
that's what everybody believes. Otherwise, why it doesn't make sense that they would take him there.
We're gonna get Zemo, and we're gonna get Deadpool in an ensemble movie with Thunderbolts, and there's gonna be F-bombs.
Because he should have been there to begin with, instead of that German prison.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah, it was weird that superheroes went to the raft, and it's just like, oh, we're just gonna put you in Gen Pop.
yeah. Yeah, weird choice on that part. But that's not for me to say. Ryan
Also
is
strange
trying
that the Dora Milaje are the ones taking him there, and they seem to be doing. They're doing that, I guess, to honor their king, but it's strange that they're not taking him to justice in Wakanda.
Right.
Yeah, them not taking him to Wakanda it's almost like, then why did you intervene at all?
Yeah.
Like,
I was really hoping we were going to get the Wakandan secret super prison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because really all them being there established was we got to see them make Bucky look like a chump when they did the thing with his arm, and then they humiliated bargain brand Captain America. That's it. That's been their contribution. Bucky tracked him down and is just like, Yeah, sure. I found him. I guess you could take him.
Yeah. But yeah, I love the presence of the Dora Milaje in the show, and I have more to say about this later in the episode, but I really like the place that Wakanda seems to be kind of taking in the MCU, with what, like, I don't know, just in terms of what's gonna come out of that country and a lot of things. It's interesting to me. Ryan is desperately trying to enter the chat, and something is amiss.
Yeah, I am here. If you can hear me.
Oh, good.
Working on getting my camera up. And
Everyone
running.
but me had camera problems this week. I'm sorry, everybody.
Oh. So it's, that helps.
You are all cursed, and I am a perfect child.
Oh.
What did you think about the raft being brought into this, and where Zemo is going to go into his hidey hole in the raft?
I'm sure you guys have already covered it, but I thought that's where he was originally. Did he take into the raft? That's where he should have been, at least.
No, he was in that German prison.
Right. Well, in this show, right? But I thought at the end of Civil War, they were taking him to the raft. But I guess maybe we never saw that.
They never showed that. They showed him in the same containment unit that they put Bucky in, but that was still on soil somewhere.
Gotcha. No, interesting move. Why wouldn't they take him to Wakanda?
That's exactly what we were just wondering. No, they're unwilling to host supervillains in Wakanda. I mean, like, that's not an unreasonable stance. If there are currently no supervillains in Wakanda, maybe let's not have a supervillain in Wakanda.
That's fair.
Not an unreasonable line of thinking.
Yeah. They might still be on edge after the whole former son of Wakanda throwing a full-on mutiny.
Right. That did happen. And then we get another White Wolf reference. Maybe he does go back to Wakanda to become the Wakanda Secret Police in the form of the White Wolf. I always say there's a band I really love called Electric Six, and they call one of their guitar players the White Wolf. So that I am generally thinking that whenever White Wolf comes up. Like, oh, John Nash is in this show. Oh, no, he's not.
Bucky starts moonlighting as a rock guitarist.
Dude, if Bucky just, like, cooled off by, like, just riffing on Gay Bar at the end of the night, that would make me very happy. Welcome, Ryan.
Bye, Ryan. Hello, Ryan.
All right. You're silent now.
All right.
Oh my
so
God.
while Ryan continues to work that out,
we'll
go ahead and move on to. We get Walker. We see Walker. He receives an other than honorable discharge and is stripped of his role as Captain America.
Is that a thing? An other than honorable discharge?
Yep.
There's three levels. There's honorable, dishonorable, and other than honorable.
Yeah. Here, let me show. Or let me tell you. An other than honorable discharge represents a significant departure from the conduct and performance expected of all military members. And then there's a whole lot of stuff here. But yeah.
That's weird.
It is weird.
Like, it's also, I get the reason why they have this. It's not really a trial, but I guess a hearing or whatever.
Right, like a public hearing.
Yeah. Like, I get that they absolutely have to be like, hey, we can't sanction you murdering an unarmed man in view of civilians.
Right.
But I don't know why, like, they don't pull him aside after and be like, hey, we've got, like, so much black bag stuff you can do for us now that you're a super soldier.
Yeah. And I mean, him in this scene is totally solid and scary and, you know, upsetting. And it's also a good scene in that it is referencing, like, the real world plight of many vets, which is, like, I only did what you told me to do. I did the stuff that you trained me to do, and I followed the orders, and now I'm being sent away as if I was never involved here at all.
Oh yeah, this is some first blood stuff.
Yeah, it is. So like that's interesting to see come up in a Marvel show too. Just I'm always interested when actual statements, like an actual stance, comes up in something as big as a Marvel thing.
Oh yeah, well, and this has been like their biggest. So many of their movies, I don't want to call them military porn, but they definitely have a pro-military bent.
Yeah.
For a lot of them, and for this show to like seem like it's going in that direction, and then be like, "Hey, we actually have some commentary here to offer on the state of those things."
Right.
Like, I was really impressed because I thought they were going to kind of soft shoe around the whole thing.
Yeah.
And he suitably flips out. It would have been maybe nice to see him flip out a little harder, but I understand why not. I mean, that's just like I want to, I just want it where the guy goes insane in public and then like the public hates him.
Oh yeah, I think he does a really great job of walking that line of menacing and still like a little sympathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like he's definitely like from the rip. Obviously, we're not supposed to like John Walker as Captain America, but like this is the first time where like I kind of felt a little bad for him more so than I did before.
Yeah,
because like he just saw his best friend killed, and like you said, like he's doing what he was trained to do, and somehow that's not enough.
Right. Yeah.
I also thought he looked the most like Kurt Russell I'd ever seen him in this scene.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree. Bring on the son of Snake Plissken, please.
I want that same scene, but with the Wyatt Earp and Tombstone mustache.
There you go. Let's do that.
Then he adds, and you tell him hell's coming.
Every time we mention Kurt Russell, my brain for a split second goes, why isn't Kurt Russell in the MCU? And then I remember that Kurt Russell was in the MCU.
He is in the MCU. Yeah. Plays Ego.
Look, I'm just saying, maybe bring him back as something else. He's that good.
I mean, we haven't gotten into it yet, but we're going to talk about somebody else that I didn't think was going to be in the MCU.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
That's really interesting.
The MCU Seinfeld universe.
It's one of those things where it's like, it's like Seven, where you withhold Kevin Spacey's name from the opening credits and then you reveal it's Spacey, and it's like, oh, the bad guy's Kevin Spacey, but it really doesn't mean anything because it's just an actor playing the guy, and you're just surprised it's an actor that's like, oh, this person. Same deal.
Yep.
Yeah. Same deal here. Yeah. You just don't expect to see the actor.
Yeah, so Michael Richards in the MCU finally.
To catch up on his years in the ice, Sebastian Stan went to a Michael Richards stand-up show. And learned a few things.
I think I'm more surprised that we got Julia Louis-Dreyfus with purple highlights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hair was the most shocking part of that reveal for me.
Reprising her role from Veep.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that where that's where we are in the episode, right? Is this
that's the next scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, his wife tries to talk to him. And
I want to say that I forgot that this woman was John Walker's wife. Had we met her before and I just forgot? Okay.
Real briefly.
Right
yes,
she's in the Morning America thing.
Because I was I was assuming that it was like Hoskins's widow or like something until it became clear, like, oh, he has a wife. He doesn't act like he has a wife, but just in the gallivanting, not in a womanizing way, just in the way that he doesn't seem like he has a wife. Anyway,
we don't see him calling in and checking in on things.
So basically, she Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who's her character here? Valerie?
Valentina.
Countess
Valentina.
something.
Yeah.
Valentina Allegra del Fontaine.
There we go. Oh, you're max headrooming too now. So good.
Am I really?
You were a little bit. Just leave it. It's
No,
fine. Don't try to troubleshoot.
What's wrong with you?
So she's just trying to recruit him into like super black ops, basically, right? She's just trying to recruit him into like, look, you can do stuff. Come do stuff for me. Is this probably the power broker? Do we think this is the power broker?
No, I don't think
I don't know. Yeah, she's definitely Mephisto.
I looked up her character.
This is the color of the hair.
Yeah, I looked up her character briefly. She's essentially like
oh, she's Agatha.
Like a spy / arms dealer or something.
Right, and she's former Hydra, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's Hydra.
Like
she's kind of
the Lady Hydra.
She's kind of like Viper, who's Lady Hydra. A very similar character, although Valentina was kind of written to be a love interest for Nick Fury originally.
Oh.
He was
not too late.
She was supposed to be the foil to him. Yeah, you want to see Sam Jackson and Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
Whoa.
Kissing on screen? That would be a new one.
I would be amazed to see that, just because I want to see what kind of chemistry those two people have together. I can't believe it's any. But I would be very curious to see.
I was gonna say, couldn't this still be a thing? Couldn't it be in the past?
100%.
Find out that they did have something.
And look, we know that they only did so well on de-aging Sam Jackson because so much footage of him existed from the 90s. I can't think of very many people that there is more footage of from the 90s than Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
That's very true.
We can de-age these people.
I want her to push him out of a doorway and say, "Get out." That's all I want.
Yes, please.
If you're gonna do this.
Oh man! Once they finally get around to Fantastic Four, do you think this means we can get Jason Alexander as Mole Man?
For a long time, we've had inserts from Community into the MCU. Mm-hmm. We've had Yvette. Nicole Brown.
Nicole Brown.
We've had Danny Pudi. We've had
Jim Rash.
We've had Ken Jeong. Why not bring in some Seinfeld?
Donald Glover.
Friends after that.
We did have Donald Glover at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are we missing? Joel McHale, Allison
Who was
Brie,
in Spider-Man 2, just not MCU.
Right. Chevy Chase, but I kind of don't count
him. Yeah, it depends on how deep you want to go anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, just get Keith David instead.
Yeah, or Jonathan Banks. We'll accept either of the two Pierce substitutes.
Yes.
I would love Keith David. Here's my pitch for a new show. Let's get Keith David to sidekick up with Carl Lumbly, and let's get that show.
I mean, Keith David already has essentially Doctor Strange's hair as far as the coloring.
True. That is true.
So just give us Keith David and multiverse Doctor Strange.
He would have been a great choice. Keith David would have been a great choice to play Isaiah in this series.
Yeah, he would have been.
Oh, absolutely.
That'd have been solid.
I mean, he's a great choice for anything.
this is true. But
he's been in some garbage, but he's never bad in anything he's
in.
He is not the problem with anything.
No.
And I say that as someone who saw Tales from the Hood too.
Yeah.
Oof.
Did you watch The Cape?
Oh, nope.
6 seasons and a movie.
Sorry, bringing that full circle.
Where are we now? So are we still on the Valentina Contessa de la Rabbit de la Soul?
Yeah, past that where she's basically saying, come do this stuff for me. It's going to be the best choice you ever made.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll find out about that. But then Sam, he goes back to Baltimore to hunt down McNulty, and he runs into Isaiah Bradley, and they have this pretty awesome scene together.
This is such a great scene.
Yeah, this is an amazing scene.
where Isaiah tells him that, everything that happened to him in some more detail, and why, he doesn't believe that a black man would ever even want to be Captain America.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot to say here. I have no personal experience that weighs in on any of this, but I just love that this scene is so deeply entrenched in comic book nonsense, but at the same time is so real and raw in a lot of ways, and that's because of how Carl Lumbly and Anthony Mackie play the scene, which is just totally wonderful. This is another one of those scenes where the director of photography is like, oh, we're gonna do this one interesting, guys. But I liked this one a lot more than the last time they took a crack at that kind of a visual thing. I liked this a lot. This is just a really, really great little scene and a really surprisingly direct confrontation of race politics in the MCU. And certain, probably the most kind of blatant that kind of commentary has been, even in Black Panther.
Yeah. Well, in Black Panther, they get to have this whole different, made up country.
Right.
Where there's, you have this fantastical, joyful celebration going on. But this is you're staring down America's ugly, awful past.
Right.
Right in the face.
Yeah.
Right.
It's essentially the stuff that Killmonger was fighting for.
Right.
Or against, rather.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is great. Other thoughts?
No, it's a solid scene.
Lumbly. Mantis is Carl Lumbly.
Yeah, that's great. Then we get another scene where Walker goes to console his friend's family, and he lets him know that he killed the guy responsible, which we know is not true.
Yeah, I'm feeling even more sorry for him, the longer we spend with him, because now it's just us watching him continue to make the wrong choice every step of the way.
Yeah.
And it's part of that I get was from the pressure that was placed on him, but even Lamar said in the scene in the last episode when they're talking about whether or not they take the serum, he even says all it does is just amplify what's already there, right? And again, just a great job that they've done of saying hey, how many ways is this guy not Steve Rogers? Let's just lay them all out every episode.
Yeah.
It's just one long, omnipotent roast of John Walker, essentially.
Yeah, because he refuses to tell the truth, which is the title of this episode.
The truth.
Yeah.
But what he doesn't realize is
Baskin Robbins always finds out.
But Baskin Robbins is going to be the one to out him.
Baskin Robbins is the truth.
The right person, yeah.
Baskin Robbins is Mephisto. Calling it now.
It's a good product placement.
All of our future podcasts are cursed with Mephisto jokes now.
Until we get an answer, I think so.
Until Mephisto finally rears his ugly face in the MCU for reals, there'll be the Mephisto jokes.
Until the next season of WandaVision.
Oh, I would love another season of WandaVision. What would that be? Anyway.
Yeah, Walker's not doing so well. We've, in a lot of ways, he's become a very compelling character because he really does.
Yeah.
He represents the pinnacle of what any of us could expect to be. It just highlights how much more Steve was.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not one-dimensional, at least. So
that's true. There are layers to this character. He is playing the layers. It is nice to see that in a villain at the outset, or an antagonist. I won't say a straight up villain, but an antagonist.
Yeah.
He's not the bad,
Totally.
but he isn't the good.
And I think looking at it too now, especially like kind of reflecting on part of that pressure, Captain America never tried to live up to anyone's ideal. He just tried to do the right thing. And for whatever reason, like John Walker and the authority that gave him the shield, like just fail to comprehend that at every step. It's just like, hey, no, we need you to be this thing instead of just be doing the right thing.
He's a tool now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because he seemed like such a nice guy in the beginning.
So I mean, we know we're all
Still a
familiar
bit of
with
a tool, but now he's a.
we're all familiar with the expression like the anti-hero. You know, you have anti-heroes, they're kind of apathetic towards
Oh,
the
absolutely.
typical. Would you say that Walker is now kind of an anti-villain? Because he's a villain without any of the mustache twirling motivation, right? He's definitely in the way of our protagonists, but he's not outright evil.
I don't even know that I would call him a villain because he hasn't hurt anyone that didn't. I'd say had it coming, but like it's not like he accidentally decapitated an innocent person when he went after the Flag Smasher guy.
Sure.
Like I think he's definitely boneheaded in his approach, and I mean at this point, how many times have we seen superheroes fight each other on the same side, and we're not like, oh, Black Widow's a bad guy now.
Right.
I get what you're saying. I think we're not really going to be able to answer that until we see where they're going with Walker, which we see a little bit more of later too. Because like, I didn't think that we were going to get this version of them having to like really go up against him until the end of the last episode, and then I definitely didn't think we were going to get it first thing at the beginning of this episode. Like I thought that was something that was going to be saved for the the finale.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, hey, we're going to give you this right off the rip.
Well, because they either got to do two. They got to do one of two things in the last episode. They either have to complete Walker's arc and bring him back around to being a good guy by the end of the next episode, or they have to send him further into this abyss, and then he doesn't complete his arc until a future MCU property.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Both would be acceptable.
Not gonna happen.
I'd be into either. I feel like at this point, with only 6 episodes, having him resolve would feel a little rushed.
Yeah.
There's a lot that we need answers to still in this.
Yeah,
series.
and I it's interesting to think about that stuff and wonder what's actually going to get resolved versus what is going to come up later in a movie or another TV series, because we have this sense that these shows are finite, that these are miniseries, so we want the questions that they raise answered. But then, as we learned in WandaVision, some stuff is just not going to be responded to or answered at all in the last episode, because that's something we're going to deal with in the future. So I'm very curious to see what that is being established in this show takes that course.
Yeah.
These are all much smaller sandcastles in a bigger sandbox. And have we really seen anything like this before, where we have a franchise that's big enough to just not resolve things until they have a movie out that can?
No, absolutely not.
This is new territory, and I think it's really compelling.
Yeah, I agree. It's I mean, yeah, I would just get into thoughts about like a giant movie universe that takes over all media versus its non-existence, and that's a whole other podcast by itself. Because there's pros and cons,
It's gonna just be Ready Player One all the time.
Oh,
it is.
That's where we're gonna head.
Woof. Big woof.
Anyway, what's up next after?
Now I just want to rant about Ready Player One. Thanks, Ryan.
Wolf.com/woof.
I actually begrudgingly liked the book. The movie made me want to die, but
yeah, I think the book is really good.
The book is a lot of fun. The movie is like the most heartless, soulless thing I've ever seen in a movie theater.
So, of the I mean, we're about to get another attempt at Ready Player One in that we've got Iron Giant playing a prominent role apparently in Space Jam, and it's shaping up to be another very huge
Stone.
Yeah,
and the Droogs from.
That is the weirdest thing, man. What are Droogs doing in this movie? That is messed up.
Yeah, on paper, I want to like this Space Jam 2, like what we've seen so far. If it were Joe Dante doing it again, I'd be fully on board. Because Back in Action is probably the best any of the Looney Tunes movies have been.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Is this a sequel to Back in Action? Technically?
I have not seen Back in Action. I've only heard it's a terrible movie.
I mean, it's better than it's better than Space Jam, which doesn't take a lot. But also, you get Brendan Fraser, so...
Yeah, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, and Steve Martin.
Space Jam is only a movie on paper.
Yes.
Only a movie on paper. What does that mean?
It's only a movie by definition. It's not. It's barely a plot. Like, by the strictest terms of what is a movie, yes, it is a movie. But does it do almost any of the things that a movie does? No. Travis and I have a podcast about this.
I literally have a
movie Madhouse does Space Jam.
Go watch that episode, guys.
We have some thoughts about Space Jam we talk about.
I literally have a joke about how much I hate Space Jam, and my entire proposal is just they should have cast Charles Barkley as the lead instead, because he's much funnier.
Well, there is that, but then there's also the weirdness that we discuss on our podcast, Movie Madhouse, Space Jam. Michael Jordan has a real wife and kids, but actors play his wife and kids.
Yeah, and I thought it was a poor choice not to give Danny DeVito's character the nude scene that they cut.
Yeah, needed it. The movie needed it.
Let's Blackhammer swing his hammer
for the plot. I didn't understand that character's arc without the nude scene. There are key character components
Lars von
missing.
Trier's Space Jam. Oh, we were talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier, right?
Yeah. Let's.
No, I'm just thinking about Lars von Trier's Space Jam. That's an amazing concept. Antichrist, but it's Space Jam. Anyway.
Now I'm just thinking of a bunch of different directors doing Space Jam.
It can't get more interesting than Von Trier. Like, Michael Jordan is like hanged for helping people at the end of Lars von Trier's Space Jam.
Oh, the optics of that are real dark. Let's go with David Cronenberg's Space Jam.
It's already David Cronenberg's Space Jam if you made it in live action.
That's very true.
Yes. Oh yeah.
If it's a live action movie, it would be a Cronenberg movie.
There's the whole scene where Wayne Knight gets like pumped full of air and he's flattened and.
Can you imagine that if like Rob Bottin or Chris Walas did the special effects? That'd be like one of the most amazing things on the planet. Now, Falcon and Winter Soldier? What?
Yeah, I guess we'll get back to that. Where
this is so much more interesting.
Which unfortunately plagues this poor series.
Yeah, agreed.
It touches on greatness. It just has a hard time staying there.
Yeah.
David Lynch's Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I'm only laughing harder because I'm rewatching Twin Peaks right now for the first time in a few years. So like I'm thinking of really specific things that Lynch did in Twin Peaks that he would do in Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it would be a thing like like a 7-minute long opening sequence of just like a person repeating the same action for 7 minutes. And then it moves on from there and doesn't address that at all. That's how the series opens if David Lynch directs Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I'm just thinking of John Walker with Dennis Hopper's gas mask thing from Blue Velvet.
Okay. What's the next scene in the show?
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Back to the bayou.
So Sam returns home and he helps fix the family boat with the assistance from several locals and his friend Bucky.
Yeah, they get It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, and he delivers a briefcase from the Wakandans, and they just keep hinting at it the rest of the episode. They Pulp Fiction it. I'm like, what
They do. Somebody online had pointed out how many times in this series Sam has said, "Oh no, I know who to call," and like he goes and makes a call to the perfect person, whatever, right? And then like the climax of this episode is, he's like, "I know how to fix the boat. I know who to call," and he just goes and calls just everybody. He's the man that knows how to dial numbers.
It's not him ringing up Pepper Potts, who has presumably inherited Tony Stark's wealth and said, "Hey, remember how I'm an Avenger and I've saved the world with your dead husband at least 3 times? Can you maybe give me a bailout? Me and my family business?"
Yeah. Could
I'm
I
saying
loan something?
The real bonehead move is that from the very beginning, Sam and Bucky didn't just start programming at a UHF station and start a telethon to save the business.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Michael Richards coming back into this picture once more.
Yeah. Daniel Bruhl's Zemo's Clubhouse. There you go.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we live in a world that's post.
We live in a society.
GoFundMe. We live in a society. Post GoFundMe society, right? We live in a live stream society. Like, none of those are options for people.
Yeah, like 3 years post.
MCU is a different place. If MCU doesn't have streamer culture, thank the gods. Thank Jeebus.
Oh, you better believe that when we introduce Miss Fantastic, Miss Marvel, she's gonna be some sort of streamer or something.
Oh yeah.
No, for sure. And I mean, it's in the Spider-Man movies already. I think it's at least hinted at.
Yeah, Sam
Social media is a
100%
thing.
could have done like a Twitch marathon of just his shield practice, and probably saved the business.
Did we skip past that scene? We haven't gotten to that scene yet, right?
We haven't gotten to it yet.
Okay.
No.
So
we're at a really cool scene. Sorry, before we jump past it.
No, I don't want to. I wanted to discuss this scene.
Yeah, of Bucky helping fix the boat real quick with the pliers, and he's like, "Why didn't you use the arm?" And he's like, "Oh, honestly, I forget about it sometimes," which was really cool. We learned that his dominant hand is his right hand, and he doesn't think of it as a robot arm. He doesn't think of it as anything. It's just part of him. Which I thought was a really cool little character moment.
Yeah. That was a great line. That was a great little character moment.
Oh yeah, but also how dumb are the scientists at Hydra that they don't make his dominant, more useful arm the one made of vibranium? Hey, which arm's your punching and killing arm? Oh, okay, we're gonna make not that arm, the one made of indestructible metal.
Well, I think they were using what they had, and that's the one that he lost.
Yeah, wasn't he missing an arm?
Yeah. I think the implication is he lost an arm when he fell from the train.
I'm just saying, if we're throwing vibranium arms around, give
You're
him
saying
2.
make them both vibranium now?
Yeah.
Just hack off his other arm and just give him matching set.
I'm just saying, I can't imagine that they were sitting around in the Hydra facility and they're just like, what do we got? Just this one vibranium arm that we smuggled out of Wakanda.
It's a left one.
Yeah, hope that's the arm that got ripped off when he fell out of a train that our Wolfenstein robot Nazi shot him out of.
Yeah.
How many
robot Nazi.
How many guys with missing right arms did they have to turn down before they found the right one?
You'll never be a Winter Soldier in this town, kid.
This scene is really nice though. This scene where Bucky's just a dude and he's hanging out and he's flirting with Sam's sister, and there's a feel good get to work montage.
Yeah.
Which is doofy. It's like the same thing of all Marvel movies, right? Where it's you're doing this, okay, when haven't we seen this? But also at the same time, it's a very well executed version of the trope, and it just works in the context, and you're just okay, this is nice. I'll let myself feel nice about this. It's like candy, but it's the most gourmet candy.
Yeah, this scene to me was hey, what if that scene in the first Spider-Man movie where all the New Yorkers yell, if you attack one of us, you attack all of us, wasn't corny as hell?
Yep.
Oh,
That's what this scene was.
what a scene!
Or in the Amazing Spider-Man movie where they line up all the cranes.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
500 Days of Spider-Man.
Hey, we heard you was a Spider-Man's.
Spider-Man's in our union now.
Yeah.
There's another scene like within this whole sequence where Sam's down and he's having like there's some issue with this piece that he's working on, and he's like he's struggling with it, and Bucky comes down, and the way that it was like shot and set up, it really reminded me of the scene in Empire Strikes Back where Leia is working on the thing and Han like comes in.
Oh
and
yeah.
they're about to kiss. This is the same scene.
That does feel super similar. You're totally
We didn't
right.
even get a kiss out of it. Boo!
That was a cute little moment. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good call though, Travis. I didn't catch that, but you're right. Very similar.
That is very Star Warsy.
Yeah. And then 3PO walks in and interrupts their moment.
You probably didn't recognize me because of the adamantium or the
I was gonna
adamantium
say, yeah.
vibranium arm.
Her vision just like phases through the wall to interrupt him.
There we go.
Red arm memes are my favorite Star Wars sequel trilogy memes. I think the red arm is the funniest thing in the sequel trilogy.
That's a Ben Schwartz. He wrote that one.
Did he write that joke?
I think he wrote that joke, and then he wrote the joke in the Rise of Skywalker about he's like, I'm okay too, sir. You didn't say my name, but I'm all
That
right."
was also a very good 3PO moment. Okay, if those
Ben
were
Schwartz
both
doing
him,
some good work in the Star Wars universe.
Oh, man, I want
those are very good.
to do punch up on a Star Wars.
Wouldn't that be great? That's the right.
That'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
Now there's so much Star Wars to do punch up for.
That is true.
Yeah. So I think we're finally at the shield scene, right?
Yeah, where they start training with it.
We're gonna go way over length
we
on this
go.
episode, and it's all because of Lars von Trier.
How could you?
So yeah, this is the the shield training montage. Do they have the heart to heart? They have it late, or it's like during this whole thing.
They have it.
Yeah.
They have it first, and then afterwards we get Sam training with it, which I don't think was supposed to be done in that order originally, because we have a weird part here where they're throwing the shield totally successfully, repeatedly.
Yeah.
And then afterwards we get Sam fumbling everything he tries.
Sam was doing fancier stuff later, and it seemed more like they were playing catch to me.
I was going to say, I think what's going on more is Sam can throw it and only Bucky can catch it.
Is that what's happening?
I think so.
Does Sam? Maybe Sam never catches it. Oh, interesting. Except
I'll have
I'm
to go
watching
back
it right
and
now, and that's Sam did just catch it. So,
well then never mind.
So maybe not. I think it is kind of like a catch. They're just tossing.
Yeah, I think
the ball
they're
back and
alternating it.
They're
like,
just
yeah.
They're just two bros that need a physical activity to engage in while they have a heart-to-heart conversation because they don't know what to do with their bodies if they just talk to each other like real emotional human beings.
If they didn't have a shield to throw, they'd be punching each other.
Yeah, exactly. What a great scene between these two dudes, though.
This is what the whole series has been leading up to.
Yeah,
honestly. And I feel like it paid off. I felt like this was the most genuine that Sam has felt in the series so far. I felt like this was the most vulnerable and open that Bucky has been so far.
Totally.
I thought this landed. This scene needed to land for the series to really feel good, and I felt like it landed.
I completely agree. I don't really have anything to add to that. It was just that, yeah.
Yeah. There's also like hints about stuff that's like sprinkled in the dialogue. They keep talking about how Cap is gone. And I'm like, is he? Like, isn't he just an old man and these are the only two guys who know that?
Gone doesn't necessarily mean dead.
Yeah.
You know, he's just like gone could just be like he's gone to his retirement cottage.
That's true.
Yeah, I think for the most part, the only off-screen deaths we've gotten have been Peggy Carter and Maria Rambeau, if I remember right.
Yeah. Those are the ones that come to mind for me.
Something else is Bucky says to Sam something to the extent of when Steve told me what he was going to do, referencing giving Sam the shield, it actually puts it in context that Steve actually told Bucky like what his plan was before he went and did all the things.
Yeah.
Because we've been making reference to that, how he abandoned Bucky and didn't tell him. But apparently he did. He let him know, like, this is my plan, because Bucky gives Sam like the nod to like go ahead in that scene in the game. So
yeah, it is really interesting. We probably have not. We've heard that Chris Evans is circling back, like around maybe doing Captain America once or twice more, right? We've heard this rumor.
A real thing?
We've heard this rumor.
No.
It was brought up to Chris Evans not too long ago, and he said, "This is the first time hearing about it."
Oh, really?
But you don't. I mean, you don't know what to believe.
With a grain of salt.
It's Schrodinger's cat of Captain America. Schrodinger's capped.
I mean, like, I imagine at the very least, if not him, there will be some kind of direct communication from Steve in a way, like a letter or something, like a direct communication, either just from retirement or post-mortem, like maybe he does die and that's a thing. I don't know, but
yeah,
maybe. But you are definitely right that they talk about Steve like in a past tense sense. He's gone, but
he feels
don't
inaccessible.
Really have any, I don't get the sense that he's gonna pop up anytime soon.
I don't think in this show.
Right.
No.
Definitely not in this show.
And they don't seem like they have any means to contact him. Like, I feel like that would have been, rather than Isaiah, they would have probably been like, "Oh, let's go talk to Kat."
Well, yeah, for sure. That'd have been
Yeah, I don't think we get it in this series. Maybe
no, absolutely not. No, I'm saying this like big picture stuff, like big picture MCU, 3 or 4 movies later.
Yeah, because the other theory about that is the old Cap that we see in Endgame, is that the one from that timeline that they're in, or is that from one of the other timelines and he's just visiting and then he disappears?
These are the real questions.
I don't know. I guess I just assumed that he persisted in this universe, but maybe he's in.
That's what I think. Yeah, most people thought, and then I'm like, I don't know.
People are always gonna question it, right? Because it's not really resolved.
Right.
Could pop up anywhere.
Well, and time travel is always nebulous at best.
Great way of putting it.
So then we get this training montage of Sam practicing with the shield, and we find out that it's super important to be able to do flips and somersaults before you catch the shield.
Very important to bend it like Beckham.
This is so silly.
Ball.
This is like
really.
This is like all it takes to be Captain America is to be able to do shield frisbee really well, like, or shield boomerang, I guess. But like,
yeah,
okay, man.
He's not
or
trying
at
to
least
be
have
Captain Boomerang, though. That's another character.
Somebody else. Yeah, and there's a couple shots in here that they did not hide the stunt double very well at all. It's like, oh, who's that guy with the shield?
There's one, like the long shot of it coming down the trail to him. Yeah. Like as soon as he flipped, I was like, that is not Anthony Mackie. This shot is lingering too long. That is very obviously not Anthony Mackie.
I don't know if they were trying to do like a face replacement and just that didn't make it in the shot list or what. But
a cut away and then a cut back would have been enough. But they just lingered on him. It was like, I don't know, or shoot an angle that doesn't show the double's face because it is clearly not Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Oh wait, this is the hero shot. What are we doing?
But yeah, lots of jumps and tumbles. We got a lot of Anthony Mackie's wardrobe changing. He's wearing more reds and blues throughout this.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Nice subtle little thing. The thought, I guess my takeaway for the flips and like the acrobatics is he's going up against super soldiers and he can't afford to get caught like he has been caught a couple times now.
Yeah.
He needs to be more agile than he's been.
It makes sense. And you can't do a summer track, which they're clearly setting up.
Yeah. But yeah, he's stepping up to the plate now. I don't think he's returning it to the Smithsonian this time.
Nope.
No, not this time. And we get the Flag Smashers. We haven't seen them for a while.
Yeah.
They're planning an attack on a GRC conference.
I also like that this scene is the second moment in this series where we get a John Wick moment.
Yeah.
When
the cell phone?
He activates her cell phone and then like everyone in the park.
Yeah. And that was pretty cool visually. But it was a little surprising. I was surprised that there were that many like devoted followers of this thing.
That was my initial thought, but then I remembered the scene from the first episode where they had essentially the flash mob.
Right. Yeah. But okay. That's the thing that bothered me most about this scene. I want to say I am extremely perturbed by the fact that I hesitate to use the word terrorists a little bit, but terrorists, the super soldier terrorists with these big ideals that they are fighting and killing for, buy coffee at coffee shops. They go and they buy coffee. They both had like little boutique coffee cup, like to go cups in their hands, and I was just perplexed.
Maybe it's fair trade.
It still seems they'd be like anti wherever you could buy a cup of coffee.
Yeah. One world, one people. Oh yeah, almond milk upside down latte.
Yeah,
that's me.
I was just like, I was just baffled by them engaging in the very like normal first world activity of enjoying cups of coffee in a park while discussing their plans for global change.
You think you might as well seen them like eating like breakfast in a fine restaurant?
Yeah. I would have questioned it less if I saw them like eating apples. If they were eating apples together, I'm like, that makes sense to me.
Bad guy.
They went and found some apples and they're eating, some food that they can justify with the extreme morality they have going on in their heads.
Well, showing a character eating an apple is a way of showing they're an a-hole.
Is it?
That's what J.J. Abrams said, and that's why he has Kirk eating an apple in the first Star Trek film he does.
Sitting in the chair.
During the Kobayashi Maru.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's a good point. And I'm also now imagining this scene if both of them were eating apples, and it's really funny.
I mean, there's no Starbucks for terrorists.
I mean, for the most part, everything that we've seen of Carly is that they have these very guerrilla tactics. They're very underground. They're operating with next to nothing.
Yeah.
And yet they have this apparently worldwide network of people at their fingertips that they can just mobilize at any moment
in an untraceable way.
Yeah. That was a bit weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, I wish we would have gotten at least one scene with their social media manager being like, oh yeah, the Facebook page is up to X amount of but like they just have this app.
Yeah.
I don't know how they got it.
There's a whole NCIS spin-off miniseries that is taking place parallel to this, where they are just trying to analyze the app and trace it. And it's 6 episodes of NCIS people at their computer stations trying to trace the app. And it's a show that isn't being made and that we will never see, but it is definitely happening in parallel to what we are seeing. I would hope, anyway. I would hope that there's someone devoting resources to figuring that out. They've been responsible for a lot of deaths at this point.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Yeah. So and then we also get the return of Batroc. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yep. Batroc the Leaper.
Which let's see a round 2.
Yeah, hired by Carter.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see this character come back. I'm sorry, Ryan. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
That was kind of it. I was happy to see this character come back. Just after he had been brought back in the beginning of the show, I was happy to see okay, so that was not only just bringing him back for this little thing, it's reestablishing him for this later purpose, which I'm just appreciating that. Sharon Carter as well, and this is interesting. She's the power broker ? Or working for the power broker, or is a bad guy in some way, shape, or form. It's interesting.
It'd just be so weird.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, into it. Somebody else.
I took this Sharon Carter scene to mean she was the power broker. Is that not?
It definitely
universal?
seems like that's the vibe they're giving her.
So yeah, either one of two things are going to be happening, where there's a reveal that she is the main bad guy all along, or it's going to be revealed that she is somehow using her resources to, hustle everyone. And
she's playing both sides now.
Mm-hmm.
Classic Yojimbo.
But yeah, we're definitely getting we're getting a round 2 with Batroc. We've got Sharon Carter's in the mix. She's not what she seems. The plot is thickening. We've got John Walker maybe working for a secret Hydra lady, perhaps. We're kind of set for the final episode.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we get the post-credit scene.
Well, we're reminded of the case again.
Yeah.
At the very end of the episode, which I actually wanted to bring up just because this rest of the episode hammers so hard on this, what's inside this case. I think, to me, it's pretty obvious it's Wakandan tech. Some kind, maybe not wings, but something. It is something new. And what that says to me is that, Wakanda and Wakandan technology is taking the place of Tony Stark technology-wise in the MCU. That's what that kind of signals to me, and that makes me very excited because Wakanda tech gets way weirder than Stark's tech ever kind of did, and I would
for sure.
very much like more of that brought into the MCU.
We in Black Panther, he gets a he gets a suit that's like it's not nanotech, but it's the necklace that he can just put on at any time.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll get wings now for Falcon that he can just
that'd be very cool.
The backpack all the time.
Yeah, but that would be awesome. So I'm excited to see what's inside the case, but I hope that my assumption is correct and that it's like this that Wakanda becomes like the tech center of the MCU and just like the weirdness that comes from that.
Does anybody think that it's Pepper Potts' head?
Oh man, that would be my favorite possibility. That'd be great.
What was Pepper Potts' sin? Goop.
Yep. That's it. I have a lot of opinions, but I'm not going to talk about them on this podcast because I'm not in the business of just straight up insulting people that I don't know personally or in general on recorded tape. But
I, on the other hand, am in business, and business is a booming. I have nothing to say beyond the Goop thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be wings of some kind.
Oh, yeah.
It's got to be, right? Like, it's not a Captain America suit. It's not a new boat.
Maybe it's a second shield.
Two shields. So, I mean, in the comics, when Falcon was Cap, he had like these kind of like what Cap had in Endgame, or not Endgame, Infinity War.
Oh, like the wrist, the gauntlet thing?
The dual thing. Yeah, but they were like lasers. I don't think we're going to get that here. It was a little weird in the comics, but then again, Falcon's a little weird in the comics. They're trying to keep him grounded in like physical things rather than like, he's got holograms that can hurt you. So I don't think we'll see that, but that would be cool for him to have this. Yeah, it'd be cool for him to have the split shield like on each wing.
Yeah,
that'd be something.
That'd be cool.
And then Bucky can have the shield. What's his face can have the old wings, and Falcon can have the new wings and a shield. Everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
There you
go. Yeah.
There you go.
And then we get somebody else getting themselves a new shield when we see Walker working on putting together a new shield made of various metals.
Does he know that the vibranium's like a key aspect here? Do you think he knows? Does he know?
Maybe he got vibranium from Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
That's a fair point.
He's soldering it together in his garage.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. He can't do that.
Probably not.
No, it's their warehouse. They're just laying around.
I get a big kick if he at the end he tries to pick it up. He's like, "Oh, that's so much heavier. No way I'm flinging this thing."
No, I like this scene though. This echoes back to like Tony Stark in the cave putting together Iron Man Mark
That's exactly
1.
what I thought. Well, it even starts off with the similar sound.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like of him hammering away and everything, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. Do you think that John Walker is going to find a place in the MCU from here? You think he'll be reoccurring, or you think he's just going to kind of fade out into a B or C list hero character?
I hope they do a little more with him because I think there's a lot of cool stuff with Cap and subsequent characters related to him, like John Walker as U.S. agent, that didn't really get explored. Like, we got Cap as a man out of time, but like not like when he during his nomad phase during Vietnam, where his ideals didn't really fit with kind of the vibe, and I think that's just a criminally neglected part of that character that we're probably never going to see that maybe we'll get with John Walker, which I would love to. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But I also think it's a total coward move to not have just made the shield black and red like U.S. agent, instead just trying to recreate Captain America. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know, but I honestly, John Walker has become so compelling in this series. He's become very interesting, multi-dimensional. Everything we've covered already is great. It's really great, and I was not expecting that out of this. I was expecting way more of the Falcon Winter Soldier dynamics and that kind of banter throughout with a bad guy thrown in.
For sure.
Yeah.
But
I'll see. Depends on what they do with them in the end of this next episode.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. The last episode.
yes, the last one. Then there's a nice long break for Loki.
What comes out first, Loki or Black Widow?
Loki starts, and then Black Widow will come out while Loki is still airing. So
Okay.
that'll be interesting.
That will be interesting. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited for Loki.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom Hiddleston. Why not?
Totally
Tom
agree.
Hiddleston Variety Hour. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, it does seem that way. And Owen Wilson. Like,
Yeah.
And
Wow.
Owen Wilson.
like how to sell me on a TV show, make it co-star Owen Wilson. Very easy formula. I'm very happy it's being applied to Loki.
It's such a weird...
It is.
It works so well. Like, you really feel the awkwardness of Loki's situation just by that pairing at all.
Yeah. I already feel like I want Owen Wilson's character to do something with Jimmy Woo down the line. I already feel like I want Randall Park and Owen Wilson in a scene together.
Hell yeah.
Which we'll find out about that. But yeah, so I guess in the meantime, Alex, where can people find more of your work?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Alex Brunel. You can also check out my website, abrunel.com, which has my resume as a IATSE Local 600 first assistant camera person, available now for your focus pulling needs.
Nice. And Dustin, how about you?
Cool. You can check out what I got going on at DustinMeadowsComedy.com after I update it tomorrow or the next day, like it finally needs to. And also, finally, I have a really cool project dropping on Friday, April 30th. It's a collaborative remake of Jaws that me and several other people have been working on for almost the last year. It's going to drop on that date. I'm still figuring out the platform and the time, but you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Dustin Meadows for details and updates on that, probably in the next few days.
Very nice. And Ryan, how about you?
You can find me at Harbjagen, that's HARBJAGEN on Twitter.
All right. And you can find the show itself on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, where we stream live every week. And find us on Twitter and Instagram. Reach us at whowatchespodcast@gmail.com. And please subscribe and leave reviews on any podcatcher of your choice if you happen to be listening to us on audio. And also, you can sign the petition for Lars von Trier's Space Jam on change.org. Link in the description of this podcast.
Oh my God.
And until then, next week, piss off, you ghosts.
Piss off, Ghost!
He's freaking gone.